here in Beaver Stadium following Penn State's 30-24 loss to number 6 Oregon in overtime. Drew Aller threw for 137 yards, 2 touchdowns, but a game-ending interception would be the story. And this one, Will, kind of overall, outside of Drew, what did you take away from this?
Yeah, I mean, Penn State loses yet another big game. James Franklin drops to 4-21 against AP top 10 opponents during his time at Penn State. And it really just continues a trend of like the Nittany Lions just finding a way to lose in just a miserable way. I mean, they started slow on offense, but then rallied in the fourth, came back and scored 2 touchdowns, forced overtime. But then, of course, Drew had his costly interception that ended the game. But otherwise, I mean, the defense played well. I mean, they held Oregon to not a whole lot of points in the first half, but the offense just couldn't take advantage.
Yeah, I think you mentioned the slow start for Penn State's offense. James Franklin said this week that starting fast was a really big emphasis for them, and that was just absolutely nowhere to be seen to start this game off. Penn State's offense seems to play best when their back is against the wall, when they're running tempo, and honestly, I have no idea why. Maybe it's because Drew Aller isn't in his head. We honestly have no idea at this point, but the fact of the matter is that Penn State is not doing well on offense this year. You can blame Andy Kolnick, you can blame Drew Aller, you can blame James Franklin, but at the end of the day, Penn State needs to get something going on offense for the rest of the season because this is honestly just not sustainable. Like we'll mention on the defensive side of the ball, Jim Knowles called, I think, a pretty great game for Penn State. It's hard for the defense, to be on the field as much as they were and not get gassed. James Franklin kind of said post-game that the first half kind of had the defense on the field all the time. They were getting tired. You can't blame them for that. The offense just simply was not staying on the field long enough to give the defense their proper rest. But then I do want to talk about Drew Aller. It's kind of one of those performances from him where you see everything. You see the good, you see the bad, you see the absolutely awful. Just Will, how do you assess Drew Aller now as a Penn State quarterback going forward?
He looks like the exact same guy we saw in 2023 when he first took over as Penn State starter. I mean, it's kind of remarkable how a guy has started at Penn State for 3 years now, but still has the same issues against big-time opponents. I mean, at some point he has to get over the hump, and he's only has like 10 or so more games to do so.
No, for sure. And I do think that, James Franklin says all the time, Drew Aller takes a step every single year. It seems like he's taken a step backwards, at least in my opinion, from last season. I thought he had a pretty good year last year, set career highs across the board. But now he just kind of looks like a shell of himself. We talk about the potential, we see the potential, but he never reaches the potential. And that was the story once again in this one. Penn State now will take on UCLA next week in Los Angeles at the Rose Bowl, where they'll look to bounce back from their first loss of the season.